In the spirit of the holidays, we want you to celebrate with your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicappers and do it at a discount by giving you a one-time 25% off everything you can fit into your cart between now and midnight on December 25th using coupon code GIFT25 when checking out. While this coupon can only be used once at WagerTalk and once at Sports Memo, the value is unlimited and there is no limit on what you can add to your cart when redeeming. Daily, all access, season, pick your team, and even mix and match handicappers as the combinations are endless. Remember, there's no limit to the number of handicappers at WagerTalk and Sports Memo you can lock in, but coupon code GIFT25 will expire at midnight on Christmas. On behalf of everyone at WagerTalk, Sports Memo, and Gold Sheet, we want to thank you for supporting us in 2022 by watching our videos, following us on social media, and trusting us with your wagers. However you celebrate, we wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Hey guys, welcome in on a very happy Wednesday to you here. The 21st of December as we wind down the 2022 year. Plenty of NBA action going on. Loaded card here tonight, in fact, and we're going to break down a few of these games, see if we can't find a couple edges, some games we like, some best bets, and we're going to do it with three of the finest gentlemen over at WagerTalk.com. A Ski Profit is in the house. Don't look so surprised, Brian Leonard. Yes, I said fine, upstanding gentleman. Brian Leonard in the house. Tony Mejia here with you. And gentlemen, going to be a fun one here tonight. Love some of these matchups. How about you, Ski? Something tells me, you know, shooters are going to shoot. This was a card you talked about yesterday on the show that you liked. So what's ready to roll at Wager Talk for us?
Yeah, I've been firing, even more so as far as like bigger plays than usual lately. And I got I do have a 5% play in the NBA for tonight, and I have a 5% play in the NFL for tomorrow. So been winning in NFL, cash 14 of the last 19, and NBA, still profitable at double-digit units. So let's cash them both.
Boom, love it. Let's get it rolling. No time like the present here, Tony Mejia. You got a guy, I know you got something rolling here, NBA, college. We got a bowl game tonight, NFL. What do you got locked and loaded for us, man?
We've got a 4% NBA play for tonight and a 3% New Orleans Bowl pick. Only a two-game card tomorrow, but one of them will be 5%, so we'll look to stay perfect on the season there. And, tons of college basketball going on, but I've actually doing some numbers thing that I've been messing around with to see if going forward I can find a system that I really like, because college basketball has been all over the place this week with really puzzling results. I saw Iowa was down to Eastern Illinois earlier today. So maybe it's the holidays, maybe it's these kids, but it's wild. But yeah, now with the World Cup gone, I've got a little more time on my hands. So looking to invest that into college basketball and get that rolling. But yeah, it's been pretty good of late, NFL, NBA. Hoping to stay profitable.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, right? Because after all, we're just starting in college basketball, really the NBA. We got plenty of opportunities here to make it an extremely, not only end to 2022, but a big-time profitable 2023. Brian Leonard, you know something about cash and tickets, my friend. NHL tonight, college hoops, NBA, NFL, what's locked and loaded for you?
Yeah, a little bit of everything tonight. You mentioned college basketball. The conference games start this week. We've had a few so far. Those are at least my bread and butter, and I've done very well in the past on those, so keep that in mind. Today, currently up on the site, right now I've got 3 NHL plays, 3-0 yesterday, 1 NBA, 1 college basketball. I'll probably add some more as I go on. And by the way, I just want to let everybody know, we as handicappers on Wager Talk, we can put up plays anytime up until an hour. before the games go off. But a lot of times, I'm sure everybody else is like me, where the lines move in that last hour, and I'm betting a lot more plays than I can give out. I'm going to start putting those up on Twitter. So it won't be much. It'll just be hey, I'm betting so-and-so plus whatever. And that's closer to the game time. And so that way you can get more free plays from us. And I'll start doing that starting tonight because we're getting pretty loaded up on all the sports going on right now. So plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, and we all know, especially NBA, the news comes in hard, fast, everything changes. So, hey, the more opportunities you guys have of getting the information, the quicker you can act on it. And that's really what it's all about. Now, let's see if we can find here, guys, an opportunity in a few of these games. And we're going to start, of course, with the contrarian play of the day. The contrarian gods on a 5-0 run here. Rob Vino made the very bad mistake yesterday of flipping off the contrarian gods. And Tony Mejia, you know how that lands. So tonight, let's see if we can get an agreement from you guys as we're going to focus on the Lakers +7 in this matchup here tonight. And nobody wants to bet on the Lakers, right? The Lakers are hot garbage. It looks like the contrarian gods are saying 7 might be a little too much here tonight. Ski, turning it to you, man. What do you think? Contrarian gods back in your Lakers tonight. Are you in agreement?
Well, the thing that I agree with is I'm not a big fan of laying points with Sacramento. I just don't think they're that kind of team to expect them to win by margin. I'm not sure. I think I was on this show and I mentioned, might have been here, maybe not here, but I mentioned the game versus the Hornets. Like, why are they laying 10.5 points? And sure enough, they lose outright. So I just feel the same way about this game. I know you don't have Anthony Davis. It's going to be tough for these guys to defend, but they've been pretty good offensively, better defensively than the Kings. And I'll be taking the points rather than laying it. I do like the over in this game, though. Both teams will play with pace. Going back, since Anthony Davis has been here or been on the Lakers, the over is the way to go when he's not in the lineup. It's just he makes up for a lot of defensive mistakes or inabilities of some of the other players. And without him out there, it should be an up and down, high scoring game. So I bet the over, but can't talk anybody off the Lakers.
No, I don't argue with you there, too. I mean, obviously, we've seen that get steamed up throughout the day as well, over the 240 threshold here. Talk to me, Tony Mejia. The Lakers are in the sights of the contrarian gods here tonight. You going with them, or do you think Sacramento's the way to be?
I mean, Sacramento definitely has something to play for after laying an egg against the Kings. They got beat in the fourth quarter, squandered a 28.23 rebound, 7 assist game from Domantas Sabonis. De'Aaron Fox scored over 30. So, definitely squandered that. And they're playing no defense right now, which is customary for the Kings. So maybe the Lakers can take advantage. I could see that. It would help to have Russell Westbrook to pick up that second unit. But he was in flip-flops, from what I understand, at shoot-around. So clearly resting that foot. We'll see if he suits up. Probably won't know until right before tip. So if you're back in the Lakers, you're doing so without knowing whether Westbrook's going to play or not. They do get Wenyen Gabriel back. Right now the Kings were playing pretty decently. They had one at Toronto and one in Detroit before losing to Charlotte. They are pretty good at home. They like to light that beam. This is a big game for them, regardless of whether Anthony Davis suits up or not against the big brother Lakers. We saw LA respond without Anthony Davis the other night, where LeBron looked 25 against the Nuggets and played one of his best games of the season. The Lakers did in that second half, just getting to the rim whenever they wanted to and really playing the way they need to play without Davis, because they are going to have to outscore teams and out-execute them and not settle for jump shots. So I agree with Ski that this is probably going to be a game with a tremendous amount of pace. I won't stand in the way of the contrarian gods, but it also wouldn't surprise me if the Kings run away from the Lakers, especially if Westbrook plays and sucks, which is definitely a possibility because that happens a lot.
Oh, he's going to suck. I don't know whether he'll play or not, but he's going to suck. Brian Leonard, talk to me here, my man. It's interesting. The total getting steamed up here. Does that help the Laker here to stay within this number, or are they better off trying to keep this thing as low scoring as possible?
I am against the
The
team on
gods.
this one. I don't understand it. I mean, I understand the part about Sacramento laying a big amount of points. I agree with that. But let's take a look at the Lakers on the road defensively, going all the way back to November 26th. They allowed 138 points to San Antonio, 129 to Milwaukee, 119 to Washington, 116 Cleveland, 126 Toronto, 133 Philadelphia, 117 Detroit, 130 Phoenix. How many games have the Lakers won in their own division so far this year? None. They are 0-6 in division, including a loss to Sacramento at home, 120 to 114 on the 11th. This is the third game in 4 days here for the Lakers after playing Washington and Phoenix back-to-back. Had yesterday off, and now they're playing Sacramento. I like the Sacramento team. They had just come back from a long road trip in Milwaukee, Cleveland, New York, Philadelphia, Toronto, and Detroit. Come home, play that first game against Charlotte, probably the worst defensive team in the league, and a team where the coach calls them out for playing bad defense. In the very next game, they allowed 75 points in the first half. Charlotte's a team right now that just goes out there, tries to outscore the opposition, and Sacramento lost to them. So they come back, they get their first game at home. It's always a tough situation. Now they're playing the Lakers. And then after that, they play Washington in 2 days, an Eastern Conference team. It's always important for Sacramento to beat the Lakers. It's important for Sacramento this year because they're actually in playoff position for the first time in a long time. I like Sacramento here. Don't know if I'll play them on the money line. Depends on what I'll get on that or on the number. But yeah, no way I want the Lakers in this one.
All right, Brian Leonard running from the contrarian god saying, hell no. Should be an interesting one. I think we can all agree Russell Westbrook will suck, though. All right, let's move on to a featured matchup here if we can. And this is going to be interesting. Is there anybody hotter than the New York Knicks right now? Laying what? 1.5 points welcoming in the Toronto Raptors. Total 218.5. And second of a back-to-back here, Ski, for these New York Knicks. But let's be realistic. Does it matter with the way they're playing? The defense we talked about yesterday, getting it done. The scoring is there. What do you think about the Knicks' chances of extending this winning streak?
I think it's kind of fishy for the line to be -1.5 with them on this win streak and as bad as the Raptors have been playing, especially on the road. I think they've only won 3 out of 15 games there. So I still think, Raptors are the better team here. And just looking at it that way, I wouldn't want to take the Knicks, but I'll focus on the total in this game. And I like it more towards the under. And we'll start off by, unrested home teams. So pretty much it's back-to-back home games. They're 23-11. That's 67.6% to the under so far this season. And looking at what both of these teams have been doing lately, look at the Raptors' last 4 games on the road, all to the under, averaging about 214 points per game. And the Knicks, last 6 games at home, 5 of them have stayed under, and those games averaging 207.5. And just the pace that they're playing at, last 5 game stats, both bottom 5. You look at both of these teams on the season, they're bottom 6, shooting the 3. And just the Knicks, how they win these games is mostly by defense. Number 3 defensive rated team the last 5 games, and number 5 defending the perimeter on the season. So I see a slower, lower scoring game, and that's the way I played it, under the 218.
Not a bad look. Don't hate that at all. Tony Mejia, what are you thinking here? Raptors, been a rough stretch here for them. I think they do get to go home after this. So what do you think, though? They come in, a little bit of a rest, more than what the Knicks got, but will it be enough here tonight?
I mean, we'll see. They still got a game at Cleveland before they head back up north for post-Christmas action. But they got OG Anunoby back. I'm totally in agreement with Ski that this line is super fishy, even with the Knicks on the second of a back-to-back. They're 3-1 over the last 4 on the second night of a back-to-back is New York. And they didn't have to sweat out yesterday, so they did get a lot of their key guys some rest in the fourth quarter. I'm not going to touch this game, but if I were, I would back Toronto. Toronto won 3 out of 4 in the season series last season. They got Anunoby back, which is a key for them because they'll be able to stick him on RJ Barrett, have Siakam, his length, try to slow down Julius Randle. First look at Jalen Brunson in the New York uniform, so that'll be interesting. And I think Toronto can steal this game outright, but they have lost 6 straight. Knicks have won 8 straight, so I'm not going to get in the way of New York's surge. But I do expect them to lose once all is said and done tonight. I just don't want any part of the action there. But if you're so inclined, take the points.
Well, let me ask you, Brian. I mean, here you got. They're playing the best basketball all year long, red hot. They got this streak going. How do you approach a streak like this? Are you looking to fade it? Are you looking to, hey, it ain't broke, don't fix it? What's your approach in a game like this?
Yeah, I don't make a general statement. It all depends on how they're winning the games or how they're losing the games. And I agree with these two guys. I thought the line was a little cheap for the Knicks until I went back and looked at the schedule that Toronto has played. We'll go back to the 9th. They played those back-to-back games in Orlando. Now, you talked about the Knicks being hot. Orlando's been red hot, too. So they play Orlando twice, team that's one of the hottest teams in the league. They play Sacramento. They play Brooklyn. They play Golden State, even though Golden State the record isn't good. We know the talent on that team is very good. And they play Philadelphia. So just about everybody that they've played, other than Orlando, at least this time, is going to be in the playoffs. Now they play New York this will be their 3rd game in 4 days before they go to Cleveland. New York, you take a look at the teams that they have played. A lot of them have struggled. I mentioned Golden State. They crushed Golden State last time out. I don't want to be backing the Knicks after beating Golden State by 38 points. That's the first thing. But Indiana's a team that's been struggling a little bit lately. They beat them. The Bulls have been struggling. They beat them twice. So even though they're playing well, I'm not totally sold on them right now. It's that game of a back-to-back, which has been mentioned. I kind of like Toronto here, but I'm not going to stand in the way, as Tony pointed out, of a team like the Knicks winning. But I think that may explain why the line is a little bit cheap, other than just looking at it originally and saying, man, 1.5 against a team that's going both ways. One team real hot, one team real cold. So I'm surprised by that until I did look at the schedule.
It certainly does tell you a lot, but it should be a hell of a game here. So we're going to learn a little something about this Knicks squad. Let's see what you're all about here with a very long, athletic, and the least healthier Toronto Raptors team coming to the Garden here tonight. All right, let's move on to a total, and we'll focus on a total in our overtime matchup. And I'm guessing points, more points, and points again. This thing's gotten steamed up here between the Bulls and the Hawks. 233, 233 and a half. No more. Now we're looking at 236 and a half. Heck, maybe even 237 before long. I just watched Chicago come down to my neck of the woods and just backhand Miami because they suck. But that's a different story for a different day there, Ski. The reality is I think both of these teams are capable of dropping 120 here. Do you buy it, though? Are you looking to go over, or is the value on the under in this matchup?
It's too much. I don't like anything going on with both of these teams, either one of these teams, really. And you're just looking at two teams that are not going to play a lick of defense. So I got to go with the over. I got to go with the steam. Unless you're giving me, 250 points, I'm not even going to think about betting under between these two. Just looking at, both teams that played 2 games as far as the split, Chicago on the road, Atlanta at home. You have them like combining to average right there near that 250 mark. So over a pass for me. And I think this is the worst game of the day. I just have to say that. Both of these teams stink right now.
They do, and maybe that's a good indicator here why this thing has been steamed up the way it has. 3-4 points. We're not going to get defense, right? So if the shots are falling, we know what's going to happen. They'll be more than happy to drop 130 apiece here. So are you believing it's over or not for you in this matchup, or do you think neither of them are going to get to 120?
No, probably over or not. We'll see if Alex Caruso can suit up. He didn't last night, and they could definitely use him on DeJounte Murray and Trae Young just to throw them off their game and pester a little bit like he does. But look, it's a situation where the Bulls played one of their best games in recent memory. I mean, I guess since blowing out the Mavericks, they had lost four. They took advantage of no Jimmy Butler, no Kyle Lowry, and winning the first and third quarters in Miami convincingly to steal that win, 113-103. It was the fewest points they'd allowed in shoot since I mean, in the last month. So best performance defensively. I think there's a little regression there. And Atlanta has gotten healthier of late. They're still missing Clint Capella, but did get back Murray, obviously, and John Collins. So I think they're better suited to win this game, especially with with Chicago playing their third road game in 4 nights. They close out the road trip in New York. So if they're looking forward to hitting the Big Apple after the game tonight, we shall see. But certainly Atlanta, I think, is the play. And as far as overtime goes, yeah, it would be over a pass.
Yeah, it feels kind of easy, right, Brian? I mean, let's be realistic here. Neither of these teams is interested. I mean, the coaches have even asked them to play defense for both Chicago, Donovan, and they can't get any response from these guys. So I'm guessing they're just like, the hell with it. We're going to drop, 130 points and win the game. So do you see any reason to even look at the under here?
Yeah, Tony mentioned the game against Miami allowing 103, best game in a month. Well, he mentioned regression. Well, the game before that, they allowed 150 to Minnesota. So there was your regression right there. You had your high probably of the season, probably one of your lowest of the season in back-to-back games. But keep in mind, these two teams played on the 11th. And I think it was Tony that mentioned they had that game against Dallas when they won the game 144-115. The next night, they were in Atlanta. And they lose that game 123-122, 245 points in the second of a back-to-back situation. Well, they're in the second of a back-to-back here in Atlanta. So maybe we see something similar here. Atlanta had a little bit of a break before they played Orlando last game. They had 2 days off. They've had a really nice schedule the last week or so. Play Orlando and win that game, 126-125 just 2 days ago. Now they're playing Chicago here, back at home. Don't like either defense here. You mentioned it. The coaches can't get them to play. It's just a lot of that going around.
Yeah.
The guys are out there for money. People aren't looking at their defensive stats, and the same. It's very similar to what they do in other sports. Although in baseball now, people pay a lot of attention. The good managers, the good programs pay a lot of attention to defense, which they never did before. But the over would be the only way I would look at this one, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm not very interested in this game either.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but it looks like over or not for these guys here tonight. But there are plenty of dogs barking here tonight, Robert. Let's see what we got here.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right, plenty of dogs on the card tonight, including the Milwaukee Bucks, the Detroit. Are they still in the league? Detroit playing there. How about Indiana? We talked about the Bulls there, Golden State, Toronto, OKC, everyone's favorite dog there. Minnesota, apparently all they play is Dallas these days. Houston, the Lakers, and of course, the Charlotte Hornets, little late night degenerate special against the Clippers. So, Ski, start us off. Plenty of dogs on this card. Is there one barking for you here tonight?
Well, who do I think actually can win outright here? I'm gonna go with the Lakers. I'm gonna go with the contrarian guys, just because nobody is gonna want them. They've kind of been playing a little bit. They've been playing decent, and it's just process of elimination. I don't trust a lot of these other ones on the board, and contrarian guys got me last time, so I roll with them this time.
See what happens? The contrarian guys, they just guilt everybody there, Brian Leonard. Guilt everybody there. Vino won't even come on the show anymore now. Tony Mejia, you know what that is. So talk to us here, man. A lot of dogs on this card tonight. Is there one gonna bark for you here?
Well, I'll say this. My best bet is my dog of the day, so I'll go with something different here. One quick thing to monitor: Josh Giddey, is he going to play tonight? He's been upgraded to questionable because he's been sick. The Thunder have gone 4-2 over their last 6 home games, both losses by just a bucket. So they're getting a little more than that. So maybe OKC as a value bet. You also have Houston disrespected as a home dog against the Orlando Magic. I know Orlando's been playing well of late and ran through Boston in Boston, but that's still strange. Franz Wagner should play tonight. So maybe Houston would be worth a look. But I will, my dog of the day is actually my best bet. So I will share that then. But slight lean towards the Rockets and the Thunder at home.
Oh, do you hear that, Brian Leonard? It's not a vacuum. It's Mejia kissing the ass of Robert, our producer back here, so he can actually get the best bet. Notice how he hasn't broken up yet on this show. Just going to point that out. Brian Leonard, talk to us here, my man. If you were dog shopping tonight, which dog would you be shopping with?
I'm shopping with my man Tony and Robert here. I'm taking Houston also. I think Houston's a live dog here. I just talked about teams that, one team winning, one team losing. We've got an embarrassed Houston Rockets team here. Now, granted, they don't have a good record, 9-21 on the season, but they just played 2 nights ago at home against San Antonio, and they were blown out in that game. They lose that game by 19 points. San Antonio was a major surprise because we haven't seen anything out of the Spurs lately, and they just took it to them. If you take a look from a scheduling standpoint, after that loss, they had the 20th off. They come back, play tonight, and then they got tomorrow off. So nice advantage there for the Houston Rockets. And if you're taking a look at the Orlando side, they had that big winning streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-game winning streak. The last 2 on the road, and then they go to Atlanta 2 nights ago and lose a nail biter, 126-125. They're going to come into this game a little bit overconfident here. I think it's a situation where this is the 3rd game in 4 nights for Orlando. They've been on the road for a while. This is their 4th game on the road. I think Houston wins this game. I think they win it pretty handily. I like the Houston Rockets.
What's that, Robert? Oh, what? Brian doesn't get a clock on the best bet? Okay, no problem. All right, Brian, there you go. You just sucked up one. You're all sorts of free stuff there. All right, let's hit it, man. Best bets. Let's go. Oh, well, maybe not. All right, well, yeah, there we go. Look at that. He was too busy actually putting in a ticket to bet on the Rockets here tonight. You screwed them all up back there. But, hey, we are good to go. We got 60 seconds on the clock, except for Brian. Apparently, he's got carte blanche. But, Ski, you know how this works, my man. Talk to us about a best bet here tonight.
Yeah, I see how this works. I might get cut off early because I didn't do any kissing up. But my best bet for the day is honestly my 5% play for tonight in the NBA. But I'll share 2 plays that I also like and also played if I have enough time to continue talking about them. One is Nets team total over 118.5. They've cleared it 5 of the last 6 games. Golden State allows 122.2 points per game on the road in general. And when they're playing back-to-back road games, it increases to about 123.7. So I like that Nets team total up and over. And the other play, I'll go with Orlando and Houston under the 223.5. You got both teams top 10 defensive rated teams last 5 games. Both teams bottom 10 shooting the 3 on the season. Houston, 2nd worst offensive rated team the last 5 games. Sorry, Robert. And just looking at what they've been producing the last 2 weeks, they combine to average 219.2. So that gets us under the 223.5.
Ooh, like that. Like that. Oh, the buzzer does work. Okay, good stuff there, Steve. Kind of like that as well. Mejia, you got some brownie points coming your way. So go ahead, tell us. Apparently, Robert's saying 1 minute and 40 seconds. What do you got going on?
Well, got some bowl plays, some NBA plays, some college basketball plays probably tomorrow once I get the system figured out. But let me be clear, the Rockets suck. and Jalen Green has really struggled. So I mean, it's just a condemnation of the fact that the Magic probably won't be playing at this level much longer, and especially Franz Wagner's not 100%. He really is the key to what they do over there. His versatility. Banchera's been playing great, but I think Houston can hang with him, and they especially have a bounce back spot after struggling as much as they did against the Spurs. But my best bet tonight is going to be the Pacers plus the points. I think they're getting 10 now against the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum comes off missing the weekend game against the Magic in a loss there, so he should be back, but Marcus Smart is still ill. We'll see if he plays. They'll have Grant Williams. They just got Robert Williams back, so a lot of moving parts for Boston. Indiana simply gets up for big games against top-notch teams. They just played the Knicks, and were in that game, but lost 109-106. They were in the Cavs game, so too many points. Too many points for Indiana. Give me the points.
You were doing so well, Mejia. I mean, so well. And then you had to open it up with, let me be clear, Houston sucks. Fantastic. Clip that. Whatever you guys do, I want that. That's fantastic. All right, so, Brian, here you go. Carte blanche, my man. Tell us what you got going again tonight, and what's the best bet?
It's going to be hard following Captain Obvious there. But by the way, Victoria's Secret models, they're hot. Just want to let Tony know. I don't know if you noticed that before. See, my clock's not even moving. I see what you get? We got 3-0 in the NBA. Excuse me, the NHL yesterday. 3 more NHL plays tonight. College basketball, NBA, and by the way, I talked about it earlier. I'll be putting out late plays up on my Twitter account, so make sure you write that down and check it out. I am going to go with the Dallas Mavericks tonight. And if you look, just 2 days ago, they played Minnesota. They were a 5.5-point favorite. That was the third game in 4 nights for Dallas. They had just went down to the wire against Cleveland. It's a situation for myself where we're getting a little bit of a bargain here if you take a look at that. And from a Minnesota standpoint, if I go back and I look at what these teams did just the other day, a great website, cleaningtheglass.com, terrific website. Just look at what the shooting accuracy was for Dallas. They were in the 3% percentile at the rim, 9 percentile overall in the mid-range shots. They had a terrible shooting day, and they were still able to stay close to the number. I think Dallas wins this one going away, and the number's cheaper than it was a week ago. Or just a few days ago, excuse me.
Oh, look at that. He made it just in time. All right. Very good here, guys. Let's take a look one more time if we can across the board. As let's see here. We got Ski Profit, and a quick reminder here, Ski, as he mentioned, big 5% best bet tonight in the association, available at his page right now if you visit him over at WagerTalk.com. But he likes the Lakers as a dog. He's agreeing with the contrarian gods here tonight against Sacramento. His best bet, though, he likes a couple of them. The Brooklyn team total over 118.5, along with the Houston on Orlando under at 223.5. Mejia, he going OKC here tonight, 3.5. You don't mind the old Houston +1 also there against the Magic, but his best bet, Indiana tonight. Grab those 10 points here, while Brian Leonard, in amazingly 60 seconds or less, went Houston +1 and Dallas here tonight in game number. It feels like it's the 5th game in a row that these two teams have played, but he likes Dallas as long as Doncic doesn't get thrown out again. And don't forget, guys, not just Ski with his best bet locked and loaded at WagerTalk.com. Tony Mejia got a whole slew of stuff going on here tonight. Bowl games, NBA, college basketball. Mejia locked and loaded, ready to roll, as is Brian Leonard here. College basketball. And don't forget, if you haven't done so, make sure you're following all 3 guys on their Twitter pages. And like Brian said, if he sees it, see something, say something. If he sees it, he's going to say something. And these guys are going to let you know. So great Twitter follows across the board. All 3 of these guys, and of course their pages. Go get their best bets now at WagerTalk.com. All right, here we go. Wednesday the 21st. Tick tock, almost the end of the year, but we got plenty of tickets to cash between now and then. We'll be back again tomorrow with the NBA tip-off show. We'll cover a couple of games that are on the list. Get ready for what is going to be, and as always, a very fun Christmas in the NBA. Plenty of games there. We'll be covering it all for you by Friday. So until then, on behalf of Brian Leonard, Tony Mejia, Ski Profit, guys, we appreciate the time. Best of luck with all your plays tonight. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Good luck.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.